Hey guys, I wanted to talk today about my experience in jail, okay, and my bipolar episode. I talked about it a little bit before, but this will really help you to understand what happened. And the more I think about it, the more I think people need to understand, because maybe you're going through it, maybe you have a family member that's going through it, maybe you've been watching me and thinking, what the hell's wrong with that girl? No, I'm just like, seriously, no, I'm sure there are people that wonder, and maybe they don't know I'm diagnosed as bipolar, and I have dissociation as well. Plus, I have PTSD, I have anxiety, I have ADHD. So it's like, you know what? I'm not trying to blame my disease, okay? But I want people to understand that when you get to a place where you're full-blown manic, you're in full-blown mania, there is there is little thinking, rational thinking going on in your brain. You have got to the point where you feel like you are invincible. What you're doing feels right. It feels good. You don't want to stop, and nothing anybody ever says is going to make you see what you're doing. If you're bipolar and you really have this, you're going to understand and you're going to relate to me on this, because you know what? I have been on drugs before. Yes, I have. But nothing like this. And it's not because of a drug, okay? And people want to think just because they know your past, or they know that you have done something maybe, before, that's what it was. Oh, it was just the drugs. No. I didn't have a drug charge. I had a shoplifting charge of it was a felony charge. It was over, I don't remember, over $1,000. But the thing was, this wasn't the first time. Okay, now, this had been going on for a couple of weeks, like different places at different, and those weeks my memories are so hazy, I couldn't tell you what I did. And that day, it went to this, like, wow. And the reason is because I had been going through all this overthinking of things that happened to me in my past, coming to grips with a lot of abuse and trauma that I had pushed, back. And so, but when I started, I just wanted to keep thinking and thinking and overthinking, and then not sleeping. And it was like a snowball. It just, the more it rolled, the faster it got, and no way in the world. By the time that day was, there were several people in my life that told me and warned me, stop. But by that time, I wasn't going to listen. And it's hard to get people to listen even when they're hypomanic. That means the stage before full-blown mania, where you still have some rational thought and you're just kind of hyper and you're just kind of thinking, oh, wow, this feels good. But if you get to that point, then you can maybe intervene with somebody. But by the time where I was at the day that I went to jail, there was nobody in this world. My son tried, my mom tried. There's just no way. No one could have reached me. I was out of touch with reality, okay? And my son has experimented with lots of drugs, and the man has never experienced anything like I did. He's not bipolar, okay? Doesn't have mental illness. That's the difference. I'm not saying drugs are okay. I'm saying when you have bipolar disorder or any kind of mental imbalance, because I didn't want to believe I had it, I still was in denial, like seriously in denial that this is not me. This can't be. I don't want to take, drugs that make me feel so yucky all the time. But the reality is, it's me. I have it, and there's no way around it. I can't go without sleep. I can't overthink my brain to the point of exhaustion and to where it just snaps. Thing is, I've had this since I was 19 years old, but I didn't know what it was, and I did so many things to harm myself and my relationships, and sabotage things and just hurt people and hurt myself for that matter. But I wish I had known, earlier. But that's, we all go through things in this life for a reason. And I think that it's definitely made me the person I am, that I am so understanding and compassionate, and like I can feel for people who are different, because man, it's not easy. It is not easy to be different from everyone else. It's not easy to have a freaking stigma on you like mental illness. Who wants that? Do you really think that I want that? No. I tried to push it away and be normal, and you just can't. And it's like, I saw people in my family, like I said before, my dad, my brother. I've seen people just get beat down, literally, because they were not understood and they didn't get the help they needed until it was almost too late. And it's like, I am lucky and blessed, because I did, and I have figured out what's wrong with me. And well, I didn't figure it out. The psychiatrist did, and I like trying to deny it, but I can't deny it. I even have like some what I have with my bipolar is also psychotic episodes, which make you look schizophrenic, but you're really not. It's like you are when you're manic or when you're in a depressed episode. If you're having an episode, okay, you're going to think people are talking about you. You're going to think everybody's out to get you. You're going to think things that are not true. They're so far out of truth. It's like you think people are trying to hurt you that love you. You think your brain just goes crazy. Your imagination, it's kind of like, well, it doesn't help if you've had a lot of hurt and you've had a lot of people that have, been people that you couldn't depend on or trust in your life. If you've had a lot of that, I think it makes it worse. It definitely does. And it makes you question everybody's intentions, everybody's motives. Why are they doing this? And it's not all the time, but it used to be to the point where I would drive people away, even my kids especially, because I just thought that they need, they were always wanting to get away from me. They didn't want to be around me. And I saw this a lot with my brother and my dad. I saw a lot of paranoia. It's paranoia. And that's why I never, there's not very many things I can, like, there's certain things that make it worse. But stress, overthinking, just anxiety, not sleeping. And when you get to the point where I was at, I had been to that place 2 times. That was the second time I went there that day. And that's crazy. They were waiting for me. Like, they were getting ready to. And man, I did not see them coming. Like, they were surrounding. There was like 5 or 6 men. And you talk about dissociation. Wow. I just fell apart. Like, I don't remember anything about when I got to jail. I don't remember much of anything. I know that I must have been telling them I was going to kill myself because they put me in suicide, which sucks. It really sucks. And you don't want to ever be in there. Trust me, you just don't. And I was there for 2 weeks probably. And I mean, I was outside myself. It was like a dream. I don't remember most of it. And then when I got into the regular part, I'd just sit there and I'd be like, where the hell am I, And people were just like looking at me. And finally, when I came back to myself about 2 weeks, into this, I had people coming up to me saying, "Oh my God, you're back to life. And we felt so sorry for you. You looked like you were just in another world." Well, that's what dissociation is. You're there, but the lights are on, but you're not there. And yes, that's what happened. I went into this just where, I was, but once I got to the point where I was, I was in, like, cell with like 8 people, 10 people, something like that. There was a phone, a TV, and I got over the nasty food. Like, I never really got over it, but I was able to eat it finally. Oh my God. You will be, if you ever have to go there, I'm telling you, you'll know how blessed you are, because it was like, I just want to go home and have a freaking something with ice in it, because I was dehydrated at one point and even passed out and fainted because they don't give you much liquid. You don't get much water. You don't get any water. You have to save a cup or something and get it out of the sink. You can't. They give you ice one time a day if you're lucky. You get to go and get ice and have rec. And if they don't want to give it to you that day, they don't have to. It kind of sucks. It's really not fun. No one in their right mind. I wasn't even in my right mind, and I didn't want to be there. It's like, why would you ask? I learned a lot, and I got a lot of support while I was in there from people. I mean, to tell you, it was like, once I got over the shock of the being in there, it was actually, I think I learned a lot, and I felt like I feel like I definitely have more compassion for people and people that are in there. Most of them didn't have a home life. They didn't have a mother that gave a crap, especially the women. It's just sad. And it's like, or they don't have one, or they didn't have one that cared, and that they just abandoned them pretty much. And it's like, wow. And you see them, and you're just like, man, I didn't realize how blessed I was. And then you start thinking, you know what, maybe my life wasn't so bad after all. And really, that's what it did for me. It really did. I was, it didn't take away from the things that's happened to me. I still, it doesn't make it any better, the things that I've been through in my life. It does in a way, but not really. Everybody has their own things, their own trauma, their own crap that they go through, and they have to. And it seems like mine's been a lot, and I've been through a lot of near-death experiences. I've been through a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect, just things like that. But they made me who I am, and they made me the person I am. Empathic, healing ability, emotional healing ability. It's, you go through these things to make you be able to, I'm just saying I went through these things. And if you are going through them, or if you've been through a lot, even physical sickness, a lot of physical sickness, even in your body, a lot of just financial problems, a lot of, relationship problems, a lot of, just you feel like abuse, maybe neglect, maybe emotional neglect, maybe mental illness. I'm telling you, there's a reason. And if you get to the other side of this, you're going to see that your ego will go, and the higher you, the true you that's inside will surface, and you will get to a place where you're you never thought you could be, and you're thinking, and the way you're handling relationships, and the way you're dealing with people. And I'm telling you, it was worth it, what I've been through, for what I am now. And no, I'm not anything special, but for me, it's, I have abilities and things that I never knew I had, and maybe I would have never gotten to that place, or maybe, there would have been no empathy. If I hadn't been through anything, how could I feel for anyone else? But anyway, just saying, if you're going through a lot of crap and you don't understand, like, you feel like, man, am I ever going to get a break? The thinking positive thing, it sounds crazy. Take everything. First, you got to look inside yourself, and you have to come to terms with the things about you that maybe you never want to look at. That's another thing. When you're going through a spiritual awakening, like I was talking about in the other video, you got to come to terms and get all this crap out of you. You purge things out that you don't want there anymore, and you're tired of elephants in the room or in the closet. You know what you're saying? Like, all these things that they're there, but no one ever talks about. And I'm not saying you have to go talk to everybody about them, but you have to deal with them yourself in the way that you can, in the best way that you can, to be healthy for you. You got to face things. You got to realize, okay, this is what happened, or I made these mistakes, and you face these things. You go through this healing. You have to face your flaws, face your mistakes, face everything that's been in your life that you don't want there, and you just, then you will go through, it'll be hard, and you're gonna go through things you don't think you're gonna be able to get out of. But I'm telling you, if you can, and you can get there, you go through it, and you will see that, wow, man, I am so happy that I did that, because like I couldn't tell you, like I said, the last time that I've really looked in the mirror and been able to say I like myself, it's been years. I don't know ever, if ever, probably never that I remember. But and some people, they just, the more empathic you are, the more gifts you have, the more you're going to go through. I'm telling you, the more you will, the more stuff you will have to endure, and you'll have to get through. But once you get through it, and once you're looking back, you realize and you understand, and you know your purpose, and you know why you're here, and you know you're here for a bigger reason. You know there's a bigger reason, and you'll know what it is. I'm telling you, it will. And try to be more understanding of people. Just saying, like the jail thing, and I've had a lot of people, talking about me about it, but never talking to me or asking me, are you okay? Oh yeah, they read it and they saw it, and they commented to other people in my family, but to call, where are those people? If they really care, why didn't they ask me how I'm doing? And it doesn't matter to me. I don't need that, but I'm just saying, it makes it look like you don't care when you do stuff like that. It's, you know what, I think it's fine. I don't care that you talked to my mom when I was in jail. But like when I got out, whoever talked to her sure didn't talk to me. So it's like, just saying, where's the empathy? I hope that my experience makes me more humble. It has, actually. Yeah, sometimes I know I can come across as being arrogant or whatever, maybe knowing more or something. I don't know nothing. Like, I wouldn't be telling you about my jail time if I was humble. Right? I mean, if I wasn't humble. I'm telling you, most people won't talk about this stuff. And I'm talking about it because I want people to understand. I don't look like somebody that would go to jail. But that doesn't mean that I don't have problems. That doesn't mean that I'm different. That doesn't mean that I don't ever do anything wrong. No, everybody does. They just don't tend to talk about those things as much. But I want people to understand mental illness is real. Mental illness sucks. If you have it, then you know that once you get to a place where you're going through a manic episode, and you're out of touch with reality, people can say all they want to. Come back, get out of there. You're getting ready to get in trouble. You're not going to listen because you're not thinking like yourself. You're still held responsible for those things. You still have to pay for them. But you're not yourself, and you wouldn't have done that if you had been your normal self. If you hadn't been in a manic episode, all right? There you go. People that don't believe in bipolar disorder, or they don't think it's real, get a grip. Get a clue, because it is, all right? Dissociation's real. Abuse, neglect, all that crap, it's real. People go through shit all the time. We don't know what you're going through. If we don't know what anybody else has been through, if they don't talk about it. And for me, this is my healing. This is the way I heal, okay? I have to talk about things. And I'm sick of talking to people that don't give a crap, all right? Like my psychiatrist. He couldn't care less what I have to say about what I feel. He just wants to give me some drugs and send me on my way. And that's legal drugs, okay? The things that make you feel like donkey crap, whatever. Donkey doo-doo. I'm telling you, it's just ridiculous. The way I've seen, the way they did my brother, the way they've done my dad, now the way that I've been through it, it sucks to have a mental illness. I don't care what anybody says. If there's still a stigma, people look at you, they think you're making it up, they don't believe you until they actually see you going to this place where, God, oh my God, we're scared now. Let's get her back, you know. You can't by that time. It's too late. Believe the person. If they say they're going through something, they probably are. I mean, why would anybody want to make up a mental illness? I mean, why? I sure as heck wouldn't. I don't want people thinking I'm crazy. They already, you know, I've had people asking me my whole life, you know, since I was 19, 20 years old, what the heck's wrong with you, you know? Well, I wish I had an answer, but I didn't at that point in time. And that's why I'm so passionate about this now. It's got to stop. People have to stop stigmatizing this stuff so people aren't afraid to ask for help. Geez, you know? Yeah, nobody wants to be labeled anything because it puts you in this place where no one wants to be around you. No one wants to have anything to do with you. Since I've been, diagnosed bipolar, I don't have friends anymore. But that's fine because I'm going to make friends. I have new friends. And the ones that didn't understand, well, I'm sorry for your loss. Because you know what? It sucks. You know, when you see someone losing touch with their self, you don't care enough to find out why. It's not good. just try, you know, that's all I'm saying. And I've seen people go down that road, and I've seen them, they're not with us anymore, you know, and no one understood, and people just wanted to blame and point fingers and say that there's something wrong, you know. We already know that. We already know there's something wrong. We just need help. We need a little bit of a friend to lean on sometimes. That's it. You know? That would help, I'm saying. That would help a lot. A little bit of understanding. Not blaming. Anyway, I want to help people because I have been through it. I have. And it's not pretend. It's not fake. It's real, you know? Mental illness is real. Abuse, neglect, you know, sicknesses, trauma. It's real, and it affects people, and it makes you different. Anyway, y'all have a good day. Talk to you later.